Hello friends, today we are going to study nature and scope of managerial economics with examples in detail. First of all, let us understand meaning of managerial economics. Managerial economics is a stream of management studies that emphasizes primarily solving business problems and decision making by applying the theories and principles of microeconomics and macroeconomics. It is a specialized stream dealing with an organization's internal issues using various economic theories. Following points I have covered in nature of managerial economics. Managerial economics as art and science. Management theory requires a lot of critical and logical thinking and analytical skills to make decisions or solve problems. Many economists also find it a source of research, saying it includes applying different economic concepts, techniques, and methods to solve business problems. For example, if a manager wants to increase the price of the product due to increase in cost of production, he'll analyze the price elasticity of demand for that product so that price rise is not followed by substantial fall in the demand of the product. Managerial economics is management-oriented. This serves as an instrument in managers' hands to deal effectively with business-related problems and uncertainties. This also allows setting priorities, formulating policies, and making successful decision-making. For example, director of any hospital make decision to raise bed occupancy tariff for VIP patient. Then the choice will be successful only if occupancy increases with increase in income. Managerial economics is multidisciplinary. It uses many tools and principles that belong to different disciplines such as accounting, finance, statistics, mathematics, production, operational research, human resources, marketing, etc. For example, invite guest speakers across disciplines to discuss their roles in addressing a problem or concern in an economy. Managerial economics has components of microeconomics. Microeconomics is the study of decisions made by people and businesses regarding the allocation of resources and prices at which they trade goods and services. It considers taxes, regulations, and government legislation. Microeconomics focuses on supply and demand and other forces that determine price levels in the economy. For example, microeconomics examines how a company could maximize its production and capacity so that it could lower prices and better compete. Managerial economics has components of macroeconomics. None of the organization works in isolation. They are affected by the external environment of the economy in which it operates, such as government policies, general price level, income and employment levels in the economy, stage of business cycle, etc. For example, the airline industry uses price discrimination and dynamic pricing techniques while setting prices for tickets. Managerial economics is dynamic in nature. Managerial economics deals with human beings, that is human resource, consumers, producers, etc. The nature and attitude differs from person to person. Thus, to cope up with dynamism and vitality, managerial economics also changes itself over a period of time. For example, the population of a country may increase at a rate of 2% in the first year, 3% in the second year, and 5% in the third year. If the other economic variables change at unequal rates, the rate of output will also change at different times. Managerial economics is prescriptive or normative discipline. By introducing corrective steps, aims at achieving the objective and solves specific issues or problems. The solution to day-to-day business challenges is realistic and rational. It aims at goal achievement and deals with practical situations or problems by implementing corrective measures. An example of a normative economic statement is, the government should provide basic health care to all citizens. Now let us understand scope of managerial economics. The scope of managerial economics is a continual process, as it is a developing science. Demand analysis and forecasting, profit management, and capital management are also considered under the scope of managerial economics. Following points I have covered in scope of management. Demand analysis and forecasting. Demand analysis and forecasting involves huge amount of decision making. Demand estimation is an integral part of decision making. An assessment of future sales helps in strengthening the market position and maximizing profit. In managerial economics, demand analysis and forecasting holds a very important place. For example, as per CRISIL ratings, the Indian cement industry is likely to add 80 million tons capacity by FY24, the highest since the last 10 years, driven by rural housing demand and government's strong focus on infrastructure development. Cost and production analysis. A firm's profitability depends much on its cost of production. A wise manager would prepare cost estimates of a range of output, identify the factors causing variations in cost, and choose the cost minimizing output level, taking also into consideration the degree of uncertainty in production and cost calculations. For example, with 2 sewing machines and 2 tailors, a firm can produce a maximum of 14 pairs of curtains per day. The machines are used only from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the machines lie idle from 5 p.m. onwards. Therefore, the firm can appoint 2 more tailors for the second shift and the production goes up to 28 units. Pricing decisions, policies and practices. Another task before a business manager is the pricing of a product. Since a firm's income and profit depend mainly on the price decision, the pricing policies and all such decisions are to be taken after careful analysis of the nature of the market in which the firm operates. For example, setting a low current price may be an optimal decision if the consequent establishment of a dominant market position leads to long-run profits sufficient to outweigh any short-run profit sacrifice. Profit management. Success of a firm depends on its primary measure, and that is profit. Firms are operated to earn long-term profit, which is generally the reward for risk-taking. Appropriate planning and measuring profit is the most important and challenging area of managerial economics. For example, if the retained profits of an organization are high, it may invest in various projects. This would help in the business expansion and success of the organization. Capital management. Still another most challenging problem for a modern business manager is of planning capital investment. Investments are made in the plant and machinery and buildings which are very high. Therefore, capital management requires top-level decisions. It means capital management, that is planning and control of capital expenditure. The main topics dealt with under capital management are cost of capital, rate of return, and selection of projects. For example, Tata Sons Limited planned to invest at least $2 billion in its ambitious super app, Tata Neu. So friends, these are the points covered in nature and scope of economics in my video. I hope you like my video. Thanks for watching.